Hello, welcome to Blah King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike,
and I am Rusty.
This is a little rough. We're recording this in my office, but it's only because we're still kind of in that weird mood after Jonathan Joss stuff happened. And we kind of wanted to set the record straight, kind of on the things that we experienced.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of give because you kind of did your thing or whatever, and I just wanted to kind of give my version of everything. So I've got kind of some bullet points that I wanted to kind of discuss, and then that's all.
We just want to give you guys something.
That'll be it for me to say on it. So the elephant in the room, Jonathan Joss. So I'll kind of give a little background on our, engagement with him. So I reached out to him in 2022. I actually went and looked back at the actual message that I had sent. So
long ago.
Yeah, it was 2022. It was December of 2022. So kind of deep, maybe a year into me and Mike doing this podcast. And I'd reached out to try to have him on the show. I thought him to be the most accessible voice actor for us to speak with. He's always engaging with fans on social media, and he's humble in that way that he'll talk to anybody and stuff. So I thought that he would be the easiest to reach out to and actually get a conversation with. But during that initial conversation, I'd asked him if he wanted to be part of the podcast and be on an interview with us. And he had suggested for me to reach out to his talent agency that he was using at the time. And, we'd reached out, and they had got his astronomical price for an independent small podcast. They wanted $5,000, and we just couldn't. It just isn't in the budget, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It didn't really make a lot of sense to pay $5,000 to speak with him. If I had it and I was able to,
sure,
maybe. But we're a real indie podcast here. So,
well, if you're talking 2 years ago, also, I mean, hell,
we just started
doing this.
Yeah, we didn't know that it would be 2025, but we're still trying this.
No kidding.
But so that leads into the event in Austin. So before the event in Austin, I guess it was a couple weeks before, we had reached out to Jonathan Joss again through a comment section on something he had posted, and a guy named David Verde or David something reached out to us. It was a guy who was managing him at that time, whoever that guy is from
David the rapper.
David the rapper or whatever his name might be. He reached back out to me and gave me a couple of prices and things that we could maybe work on. Everything was still just a little too high, and I told him, "Hey man, I'm going to be in Austin for this event and for the ATX TV Festival, for the King of the Hill event." And he's like, "Oh, we're going to be down there. We're doing a thing Saturday at a venue called the Green Room at Mr. Nice Guys." So he came up with a price for us, $225. He was like, "Hey, come in, you got 45 minutes to an hour, and you can sit here and interview Jonathan Joss."
I think the most important part about what you just said is they were coming anyway.
Yeah,
we didn't initiate it. We didn't ask them to come or anything.
No.
You just said, since you're going to be there, and then they said, "Oh, we're doing this event."
It was a happenstance. Happened to have something already set up at a venue, and they just were able to add us into that and extend their time there at the venue, and we're able to
great
review. It was a good show. Yeah, it was
two great bands. I don't remember their names, but they were two really great.
I can't remember their names.
One was from Oklahoma, and the other guy was local, I think.
Yeah, he was local. I wish I could remember their names. If I can remember their names, I'll add it in the description on this video. But so that leads into the Austin event. So we have this scheduled with them for the Saturday after the event. So Friday, we go to the event. While we're waiting in line for the event, we can hear Jonathan Joss singing "There's a Hole,"
Well, we saw him back behind the barrier.
Yeah. Well,
so we were walking in.
Before we walked, we could hear him kind of singing "There's a Hole,"
right.
"There's a Hole," and once we get to the rail, we walk up to him and shake his hand. And at this time, we were aware of the post that he had posted on Facebook about
One of those shining shoes.
how he was going to shine shoes out front, and he did shine some people's shoes there. But he
You want to explain why he said he was signing shoes?
yeah, he had said in the post that his dad used to sign shoes outside of that theater, so he was going to go out there and shine shoes as well outside that theater in honor of his dad. And we saw him outside the venue, so I wasn't aware if he had a ticket or not. I didn't, I figured him being a cast member, he would at least be afforded the right to be there.
Yeah, you would think so.
So when I saw him in there at that point, I had no other knowledge of whether he was supposed to be there or not. I just assumed at that point that, oh, they let him in. He's the voice actor for John Redcorn, which is, a really, really popular character in the show. So I figured they had given him a ticket, which we end up finding out later on. So, and, goes to the microphone. And at that point, I actually have a story that I wanted to tell. I have to look this up just real fast. Hold on. So a guy reached out to me, and it was the guy who actually told Jonathan Joss to sit down as he was in front of the mic.
He doesn't want his name.
And he doesn't want his name out there. So
please, respect his privacy and don't look him up.
But what he wanted to clarify is he felt like Jonathan Joss didn't understand that he was just doing his job or whatever. And he saw our interview with Jonathan Joss, and then he reached out and he wanted to kind of clarify that he wasn't high. He was extremely mortified. He felt like his life was ending. Like he just, it was a really weird situation for him. The reason why he reached out to us is because you called him poor kid.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And he was like, at least you thought of me, which I did. Like,
hell yeah, I did.
Immediately, that was the first reaction I had when I saw that guy.
See his face. We could
walk up to Jonathan Johnson.
We could see his face, and he just looked mortified.
He looked upset, kind of thing. I felt bad for him because it is doing their job or just doing what they're told
here, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think it was a volunteer.
And I mean, that's the worst outcome of a rock, paper, scissors game ever, to have to go up and tell the guy to sit down.
But yeah, so he wanted to stay anonymous. He was just a volunteer.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to clarify with everybody that he wasn't, on any drugs. He was just really nervous and really frazzled. I didn't need it. But so the incident happens where he stands up and he everybody's heard him. I'm not going to repeat it. Everybody's heard him ramble. Heard him ramble and his rant and him getting out his feelings. Yeah, and he got out his feelings and his emotions and said what he felt like he had to say as a man and stood up and did what he felt like he had to do to protect his dignity and demand his respect. So during that whole incident, you could see in the cast. You could feel the tenseness, especially I could really see it where I was sitting at. Just the light was perfectly shining on Mike Judge, and I could see his face, and he looked really kind of frazzled a little bit about it. Like it wasn't something they were expecting to happen, but it was something that once it started to happen, you could tell he was like, "What is he gonna say? What's gonna happen?" Like you could feel that there was this air of volatility about the whole situation, and then. So all of that's said and done with. He goes, he sits down. Well, at that point, Mike and myself, and we go across the street, and that's it. That's the last we see of Jonathan Joss that night. Yeah. We go, and for everybody,
was there. We all had press passes, and the other person that works here, I'm not going to mention her name or anything because she's newer, and she just was there with us, and experienced this whole thing too.
Yeah, so we go to this backyard barbecue event. So it was pretty cool for everybody that wants to know about it. There was cornhole. There was it was just like a backyard barbecue in Texas.
There was startups that we stood with and all that. And then they were giving out free cups and pens and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, bottle openers. Yeah. So it was a neat experience.
We had a great couple there that we talked about doing some stuff, later down the line. And I mean, it was great.
Yeah,
And
they were
point,
serious.
at that point, we were like,
They got Alamo beer from there too.
yeah, we were like, this weird thing happened over here at the, so it was kind of a shared experience. We had no idea what was going to transpire after that.
Yeah, you could hear.
We were just like, oh my, the guy, he kind of,
It was being discussed in the line while we were.
well, we would say things like, we kind of upset everybody, and now we got to interview him tomorrow, and so we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, we didn't really like going in the interview. We didn't know what to expect. So I'm gonna go fast forward to that because that's the next part of the story. So, Mike goes to the hotel. I go home. Saturday, I go back to Austin. I meet Mike outside of the green room.
I unwittingly realized that they are in the room right next to me.
Yeah, so he actually stayed they're actually staying in the room right next to Mike. But so
yeah, like that.
Yeah, Super 8. So fast forwarding to the actual event. So me and Mike meet outside of the green room at Mr. Nice Guys. We go inside. We don't really know what to expect. At this point, we've reached out to his, I guess, manager or whatever you want to call him, David. We've reached out to him at this time, and we didn't really get any answer back or anything. But eventually they show up.
Yeah.
It's like,
number one, the people at Green Room, best people ever.
Oh, awesome.
So great.
That's a crazy good venue. If anybody's in Austin, go check their venue out.
Yeah, I was talking to the owner about, was like, I don't know if they'll show up, after what happened. And so he was like, why would you think they wouldn't show up? And so we had to tell him the whole story of what we experienced.
Yeah, so we were really, we're kind of getting skeptical of the situation because it was just kind of, we hadn't heard anything back from anybody.
But we're setting up to do the show. We've
been there.
We're doing all the things.
Probably 45 minutes to an hour at this point. You got the two bands playing, and then he finally shows up. Then we talk for a little while and everything, and then we do the interview. Well, of course, everybody's seen the interview. If you're on the channel, if you haven't, you can go check it out. It's like a couple videos back. But I wanted to address my silence because I didn't really speak that much. Mike did a lot of the interviewing. I did a lot of Hell Yang and Who Run. And
my favorite comment from the interview. Love the guy who just says hell yeah.
Yeah, I love the guy who just says hell yeah. Well, I've been around a lot of addiction in my life. Drugs, alcohol, otherwise, whatever. And I could feel it felt tense. Like before it wasn't that tense. Like when we were talking to him off the stage and everything, but when we get up there, it was like almost like a switch, like a performative switch had flipped. Like he was dancing through the crowd, shake everybody's hand, sitting there talking to me and Mike, talking to me, talking to Mike, whatever. And then we go to the stage, and it's just like this theatrical switch.
Well, you can tell how tense it was. If you did watch the video, you can tell how tense it was by his body language. Like at the end of this interview, he's like all doubled over here and talking like this and stuff. Yeah, you just feel the tension kind of build as we went, and it's not because we wanted to build tension or anything.
It's it was a tense moment. It
just started actually saying things that he just wanted to get out, and so.
My silence is just really, it's like I'm empathetic, and I could just feel from him emanating off of him. I could feel this sense of sadness and despair, and it really sucks because. This isn't like the first experience I've had with this during this podcasting stuff. Doing this podcasting stuff, I've seen that not all of your favorite actors or your favorite voice actors from your childhood, not all of them are doing good. Not all of them are wealthy. Not all of them invested their money properly. Not all of them made enough money to really do anything but survive in that time frame.
And some of them are soul crushing because you realize they're not the people you thought they were.
Yeah, and not necessarily not the people you thought they were, but you expect somebody that was a part of a show that runs 13 seasons. That's one of your favorite things that you've ever watched in your life. You expect, everybody attached to it to be well in life, not necessarily wealthy, but well in life. Happy with their situation, happy with whatever it is that they have going on, and it's just. It was just sad to see that. So
all right, y'all gotta see me take a call in real time, man. Hey, that's okay. It's not a big deal. We're recording another thing anyway, so it's no big deal. Yeah. Now. Yeah. Why don't let's shoot for the same thing. We'll just do it next Thursday. Does that work? No, don't worry about it. I'll just move it on the calendar. No big deal. All right. Thank you, buddy. All right. See you. Bye. Okay. The only reason I took that call is because we were supposed to talk.
Colin Cracked.
Yeah, Brian from Cracked Magazine this morning, and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." So we're moving it to next Thursday.
Okay, that's fine. But where was I? Yeah, so during the interview or whatever, like I said, yeah, it was just I just felt a lot of sorrow, and it was just really hard for me to, find the words to say anything. Not gonna lie,
it was tough to pull that stuff out.
But yeah, it was just really hard. So again, I apologize for my silence, but that was a part of it.
It didn't bother me at all.
It bothered me.
Well,
So
I get that.
like,
I'm saying, I think same piece on you being the person, it's going to bother you way more than it bothers anybody on stage or anybody in the audience. I mean, you and I know each other pretty well at this point, and so I knew, that there was a little bit of pullback. I knew where we were. I knew the setting and all that kind of stuff, and
tough.
Sometimes it takes you a little bit too, and that's fine. And same deal with me. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get kicked in. I just happen to be the dance monkey dance guy. I mean, you put me up there, I'm gonna do something. So I just went and did the interview, and if anybody wanted to come along, great. If they didn't, we're all there. So I didn't find anything weird about it.
Yeah, and then now the next part of it.
God dang it, I liked him.
I don't really said he was an interesting person. He was definitely very
I liked him, I liked Tristan, I liked the people that he brought with him. I was like, man, these are people we could do something with that have been to the top of the animated mountain or whatever. I mean, they did something in the show that we specifically cover, and now we've got this great hookup where we've got a person who maybe we could be friends with and actually talk to them about experiences and things going forward.
Yeah,
it just was a crusher.
Yeah, it sucked.
Crusher. So not taking anything away from his family and all that stuff. I mean, for him, it's ultimately worse. But I'm saying for us, it was just a crusher because we were like, God dang,
it was just getting connected with them, and there was like, bad things immediately happening.
Yeah.
I don't want to really speculate or talk too much on the events surrounding his death.
Because I have heard, you told me this morning that it's possible that the interview may be being used in an investigation of some kind.
Yeah, potentially. But
I want to stay away from that.
As other than that, well, not just staying away from it as far as possible. There's a lot of speculation about what happened and what didn't happen, and I don't want to get involved in the politics of it all.
Yeah. Hate crime, whatever. It's still, no matter what happened,
a very good person. Somebody I perceive as a very good person was killed, in cold blood, regardless of the situation. Nobody that's battling any mental health battle deserves to be shot because of that battle with mental health. That's another situation that the world needs to address. But I don't want to get into the politics of that too deep either. But during all of this, this life event here, we've had a few people from his early life reach out to us and thank us for being respectful of him and getting his last interview out there. I wanted to address the timing of everything too, because some people kind of mentioned it. I just wanted to clear the air on the timing. Mike and I did not.
Y'all were inventing things.
Post.
This did not happen.
Yeah, Mike and I did not post this prior knowledge of his death.
No.
If we would have known,
we would have held off.
We would have never posted that video at that time. That video would have been held. Like, we might not ever.
You can see by the videos that I posted driving around in my truck that day. That's when I found out.
Yeah,
like that's when there was confirmation, and I was like, okay, here's what really happened, or here's what I know right now. I had edited that video Sunday night in that hotel room. Or no, I guess I was at home at that point. But I did it Saturday night.
Yes,
had it ready to go. It was scheduled for Monday morning, first thing. I think it went out around 12 a.m. or
it was midnight.
Later,
it was like midnight,
1 o'clock. So right, because I wanted to get it out because we were excited about it.
And
it had nothing to do with trying to capitalize
at all. Yeah, no. So I just wanted to clear that up. We make no money off this podcast. If anything, this costs money for us, America. So I just don't let
weekend cost us some money.
Yeah, that weekend cost money. So I just don't want people to assume that we had any ill intent at all, because we don't. Like, we are storytellers by nature, and that's all we were doing is we captured a story. And
what's the first thing I said to my wife? I was like, I appreciate the numbers and everything, but I feel so weird. I don't know how to feel about it,
Yeah.
because I'm not trying to profit off anybody's.
I don't want it at all. Yeah, no, the definitely.
So, but the cool thing has been, if there's any silver lining out of this whole thing, it's that people did reach out to us. They thanked us for treating him like a human, which everybody should have.
People in his life, though, like not just like fans, but like people in his life have reached out.
Yeah, people in his life, and then people adjacent to the show also that we never would have met without this. That maybe knew other cast members and things like that. It's nice to be reached out to because they trust that you have their best interest in mind. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be, because we are not looking to harm anybody here. We just want to have fun with this thing, and we want to show respect to a show that we love.
Yeah, just for anybody on the internet, if you ever think that me and Mike have any ill intent or any bad intentions for anything, and
you feel free to email us, and really,
you're not in the right place.
I would love to have them on the show. Yeah. Like, you want to tell us how bad we are? All right, be on the show. We'll talk about how we are. Yeah. We got nothing to hide.
So yeah, nothing at all. Yeah, that's all I had to say on it. I just wanted to say, you said your piece last time, and I kind of wanted to get my version of everything.
And I just been inspired since then. We got reached out to by Good Morning America, by TMZ, by Cracked, several other outlets, and there were numerous stories out there that we got mentioned in. It's an honor, but again, I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's been a really weird couple weeks.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna say that we give respect to what happened, and we've taken our time, and grief is something that never really goes away, and we were very, very adjacent to this guy. We didn't know him well, but I feel for family, everyone's family there, even the guy who obviously shot him. I mean, it's destroyed a ton of lives here, and so I want to give all respect I can to all of those situations, but we're going to keep doing the show because we love this show, and it's exciting that there's new content and there's new things to talk about. And I think you and I have talked about the fact that we may pause on the old stuff and go to the new stuff, or maybe we move new to Fridays or so. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I think what might happen, guys, is if Mike's up to this is just up to Mike, really, on this point. This show is only 10 episodes long.
Yeah.
And we want to get you as quickly or in a timely manner as possible. So we might do Monday and Friday.
Maybe. Yeah.
And just
get
pump, give them. And I guess that would all depend on transcripts, whatever we're able to.
Sure.
But with
technology, the hard one there, but we'll take technology.
Should be able. We should be able to get some kind of transcript or something.
Anyway, I think that's it for us. We just wanted to say our piece again and tell you guys how much we appreciate you. And if you have any doubts about us, please ask the questions, because we're open books.
Yeah.
I don't ever mind answering somebody's questions. What I don't like is people who hide behind a keyboard and type the most vile stuff you can think of,
and not even vile, but some is just not.
Why don't you just run away?
So it doesn't make any logical sense.
It's cowardice, and I don't subscribe to cowardice. And so if you want to say something to me, to Rusty, whatever, reach out. We're happy to answer your questions.
Yeah.
We're happy to answer your accusations or whatever. But we're just, more than anything, we love you guys, and we appreciate you being here for us always. And Artie, we got new stuff coming, and as always, I'm going to thank Artie. I'm going to thank all the folks that normally show up to all of our things.
Yeah.
Artie was so great in all the comments on the videos and stuff. He was helping us out, even when he wasn't helping us out. He was on there like defending us or talking about this happened or that happened or whatever. So,
well, I also wanted to thank everybody that's found us in this last few weeks. Everybody that's subscribed.
Yeah.
King of the Hill content. That's what we do. So stick around.
Keep doing it.
You can find us at BWAAA. It's 3 A's, KOTH, on all social media. Feel free to shoot us an email too for comments, suggestions. ASCII art, or what was it? ASCII, and then how you say
ASCII art? Yeah.
ASCII art.
ASMR.
Yeah, ASMR, whatever you got.
Whisper into a phone, and then send
that OPAR, ASMR, whatever you got.
All right, guys, we will see you again next time. And just one thing left to say.
In the most heartfelt sense of the word, we Tanya.
We Tanya indeed. We'll see you.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.